Okay, so as we continue on.
Yep. So we finally completed the mix of the fish cake batter in preparation for frying. This is really ready for frying, and the way we know that is because it's actually a bit pulley. See that? So it's actually going to be stuck on the spoon a bit. Otherwise, it's not going to rise when it goes into the oil initially. Now remember we said we want to split this up in two, so this is our base batter. And this base batter, this is already very delicious. I'm going to place a bit of this into this bowl here.
What's the reason for splitting it again?
Again, we're splitting this because I'm going to make two forms, or two flavors. One of them is going to be mild, which is just the basic spices that we've added.
Yeah.
Your curry, your garlic, your onions, and so on. And to this batter here, I'm going to make an extra spicy portion with chilies. So this is another dimension. And we didn't use all the peppers before, but to this we'll just add a few of these just to give it a bit of crunch to that final mix as well. So we'll have two varieties of fish cake, a mild fish cake, which anybody can take, and then a bit more spicy one which we men can take.
Yes, yes.
This is the one.
Okay. And Barry, you obviously been following closely and getting to the sharp end of the real McCoy here now, because explain to us why this particular aspect is so crucial.
Well, this is crucial. Notice what we use in here is a very deep pan as well. The reason for this is that what we want to have here is a very hot pan. And what we're doing is we're being very generous with the oil as well. As you can notice, there's quite a bit of oil in here because we're really going to deep fry these fish cakes. And what's going to happen as Philip has finished mixing and we're ready to put in, when we do that first drop. And the drop is what we say our first spoonful of fish cake that we put in. It should float. And you want it to float because the oil will be hot and it will float. It will just ensure that all the juices remain inside, and so that we have a good, crispy, compact fish cake that's very golden on the outside, a bit firm, but on the inside is cooked through thoroughly and very soft and tastes very good, and all the flavors are captured on the inside.
Right.
So that's really why this part is very important. So we need this oil to get extremely hot.
Right.
It's important that we don't put them in too quickly.
Yeah.
And then it's also important it doesn't get too hot that it burns the outside and then the inside is not cooked.
Yeah.
So we just need to let it get very hot and into it at that
Precise moment.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. I noticed you've got a spoon sitting quite neatly there next to the mixture as well. Is there a particular type of spoon that's used for these fish cakes?
Well, a fish cake connoisseur is very particular about the shape and the size of his fish cake. So what we've gone for here, we've got a long handle spoon that would allow us to actually to scoop out quite easily, but we also have a deep set spoon as well. If you take a side view, you can see the deep set, and what that would allow us to do, that as we scoop out, we're almost guaranteed to have a perfect ball. So then once you pour it in, you have a perfect ball of fish cake. And that's what you're looking at.
Okay. So your temperature must surely now be getting up on your oil as you prepare for that first drop.
We're getting there. What I'm going to do is that I'm just going to take a little pinch, and this is how you can test, and those at home, you can use a little bit of flour.
Yes.
You can do it and just sprinkle it on the top, and if the flour then infuses and you see it look like the flour is frying, that means you're pretty much ready.
Okay.
Or you can take a little pinch of your fish cake as well and just drop a little pinch in, and then that can tell it. So what I'm going to do is just take a little bit. Okay, this is important, what I'm going to show you here now. As you can see, our mixture, perfect as it is sticky, as it has to be sticky.
Yeah.
If you put that straight on the metal and you try to drop, it's not going to come off cleanly.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want. You find yourself having to scoop with your finger or using something else. That's not what you want. So what we do to ensure that this works properly is that you just dip your spoon into the oil just a little bit and just get a little bit of that. And you see how the oil is moving as well? It means it's getting pretty hot there now. And what you've got there is your spoon is layered with a bit of oil, and you take a little bit of that, like that. And then what you do, you can just put that in there like that, and that will come straight off. Right?
Yeah.
Straight off. Spoon is clean.
The spoon is clean.
And what we want to see here happening now is that as it bubbles, you can see the oil is nearly ready, but that should also rise pretty much to the top.
Yes.
That looks pretty good, actually.
And there we go.
Oh, well, look
It's
at that.
risen up to the top.
Lovely.
And that's what you call floating the fish cake.
Okay. So you're gonna drop some now, and then we're gonna continue on to the great expectation of the finished product.
Oh,
That's
yes.
right.
Yes.
That's right. Here you go, Philip. You can
Yeah, I'll continue with
you can
this
continue
here.
dropping a few.
Perfect.
I noticed that you've got something else also boiling here in the back, which is quite interesting as well.
Well, yes. Well, a good set of fish. We did conquis yesterday. We're doing fish cakes today.
Yes.
But one of the great things about Christmas Barbados style is that you also have a drink called sorrel.
Ooh.
Sorrel. That's right. And we were able to get hold of good proper sorrel.
Yes.
One that we had to boil down ourselves, steep ourselves.
Yes. This comes from a plant, doesn't
This
it?
comes from a plant that grows especially in the Caribbean. It has a good nut on the inside of it as well. How you prepare the sorrel is that as you pick them from the tree, you then cut around them, you take the seed out, and then you let the flesh of the sorrel dry. And if it's good, you want to have it dried by the sun. And you know, old days of old, my grandmother would have put it up on the roof and
Yes.
cover it over and let the sun dry out that sorrel, and that will keep all the juices in, so that as you come to steep it, you have a good flavors coming through.
Right.
Yeah. So we had some sorrel on Christmas Day, but we were able to still keep some of the flesh of the sorrel. And now what we're doing now is boiling down the last bit. We want to make sure we get everything out of this sorrel.
Yes. This is very important because I think the taste of Christmas in the Caribbean is very crucial
It's
to,
very
to
crucial.
people. You know, it's
Very crucial.
It's all of these different flavors and all these different foods, and the smell is quite important. That looks really good.
Indeed, this smells brilliant. This smells tremendous. What we're gonna do is let this we're probably gonna let this boil for another 15-20 minutes, and then we'll add some cinnamon and some spice, and we'll sweeten it a little bit and just bring it to that perfect taste.
I've heard people even adding ginger wine to their sorrel as well.
Really?
You know,
the Jamaicans.
indeed, we like a little kick. So if you want a little kick on the sorrel, there's nothing wrong with adding a little bit of ginger wine at all. Nothing at all wrong with that.
That sounds good. These are looking excellent, Phil.
Yeah, I'm just waiting, looking forward to the float here now. Again, you can make them whatever size you want. I'm going for more of a medium size. I'll probably reduce the size of these as well because again.
Show me the spoon there, Phil. Show me the spoon. Look at that.
For kids. Look at that.
We dropped about 7, 8
7
fish
so
cakes,
far,
and the
yeah.
spoon is relatively clean.
Yeah. That's because we constantly put the spoon into the oil. And again, because we have kids here, I'm probably going to reduce the size of these by half as well, so they can just have the joy of having an abundance of fish cakes.
Yes.
As opposed to just one per person.
Yes. Yes.